Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. This is Madden 18 on EA Sports. There is no question today's game could be defined by the passing game. The Colts are top 10 in pass yards, going up against that Jets secondary that could be in for a long day.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Indianapolis Colts. And the D looking like they may blitz.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's throwing them in the offensive backfield.
Second down, Hackenberg. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Terrell Basham leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. If I have a fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Coming in carrying the losing streak, not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is, who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down a pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
On second down, Kelly. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Kelly. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Will tie the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back. So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's a sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On third down, Hackenberg. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're going ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on third downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. So the offense looking at a 2nd and 8.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Blue, landed.
From the gun, Kelly. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Demaryius Thomas, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. New York set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about, until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Setting up the screen for West. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
To throw, Hackenberg toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hurry up, here we go.
They'll run it with West. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brad, wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Single. All right, here we go.
Hackenberg on 2nd down. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
To throw, Hackenberg. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They go play action here on first down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Now, keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here.
Here we go now. 319. 319. Watch him now, Barney. Watch him now, Barney. All right, here we go.
On the ground, it's West again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So this offensive unit, they've now had 3 drives, and they only have 3 points to show for it.
Payoff is the key for everything. How many offenses have we talked to that say we have to finish drives? Thus far, this team hasn't finished it quite the way they've wanted to.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, it's Kelly. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. T.Y. Hilton, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Kelly to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Carroll. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down.
All right, here we go.
On first down, Murray. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. And this one complete to Virgil Green. Green able to dance free. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. A toss to Murray. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Again, it's Murray. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down. Kelly. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The gun, it's Kelly. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Watch him now, Barney. Set. 3-19. Leopard. Here we go now.
A play fake. Now Kelly. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. They'll run for it. This is Murray. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
35, watch 35. Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Hackenberg now to throw on first. Got an open man. It's a noon one. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. And now a first down following that long gain.
Tight end right, tight end right. Set. Green, 39.
Now Hackenberg. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it second down. First carry for Elijah McGuire. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down. Out of the gun, Hackenberg. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Hurry up, here we go.
Kelly now. Going to throw again. Going with a screen for Murray. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down. The Colts on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go. Gun.
Here's Kelly operating from the gun. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
All right, here we go. 3-19. Watching that, Barney.
Following the interception, here's Hackenberg. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Barkevius Mingo. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
All right, here we go.
On second down, here's Hackenberg. Being chased out left. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play, as we'll get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Jets on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be third and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Under pressure now, and they get to Kelly. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Second half starts with a run by Murray. Latavius Murray. He's at the 40. The 20, 10, touchdown, Indianapolis. Latavius Murray, 77 yards. And the Colts add on to their lead. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Barkevius Mingo in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit. Try it that way.
Now Hackenberg. Found his target. It's Anderson. They convert on third with a gain of 22. So the offense has it first and 10. This is West. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now let's go.
On play action, it's Hackenberg. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Hackenberg from the gun on third. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. A first down throw for Hackenberg. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Over the middle to Smith. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and that'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. On third down, Hackenberg. He's going to sling this deep downfield into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. There goes Green. 30. Past the 20. 10. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Very tough spot here for the offense to start.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. Hurry up. Here we go.
Now a first down throw. Kelly. And he hits his man on the out route. Demaryius Thomas. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They pitch it out to Murray. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Second down following the run.
Here we go now. 3 down.
Here's Kelly. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. The Colts on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5.
Hurry up. Here we go.
From the gun, Kelly. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught at the 20. It's a big conversion on third for the Colts. 55 yards.
That has to be frustrating for defenders. Third down, they take a shot way downfield. There is good coverage, yet they still come down with the football and pick up a big gain.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Here we go now.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. T.Y. Hilton, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right?
Here we go.
Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is Can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down. The Jets on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Hackenberg. Going for the deep ball. Looking for the speedy Smith, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll run it left side with Murray. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Colts. They've got control of the football. They also have the lead as we start the fourth. They go back to Murray on first down. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing. Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out. The Colts on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Kelly. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th. It's rare that a receiver of his caliber would drop one pass, but that's now 2 times he's had his mitts on one and lost it. Yeah, and I don't think that they're going to lose confidence in him, though, because of the track record. Such a good player, maybe having a bad game, but I think they'll still go to him in a critical spot. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach. It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now. And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Jabal Sheard in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Charles, not to point fingers, but how much of this goes on the shoulders of the offensive line? Well, look at the 6 sacks last week. That's the 4th in this game.
Definitely the bulk of it does go on the offensive line. That's what they're tasked with doing, keeping their quarterback upright.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 47 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Kendrick West, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Kendrick West, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Here's Kelly to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Carroll. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 47-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Fresh set of downs here.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Hurry up. Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense.
Now let's go. 3-19. Detroit. All right, now look. Go. Back 99 Philly.
They go with Murray again. And he is knocked down from the side at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage. The stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And this is incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Second down following the incompletion.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Hurry up.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now a give. This is Murray. And a short gain down to about the 33. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Now let's go now.
On 3rd down, Murray. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Following the penalty, it's Murray. And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. And now defensively they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. And now it's 2nd and goal. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. This offense so far on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and goal.
Now let's go.
Operating from the gun, Kelly. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Jamal Adams. The 40, the 30, 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Colts. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Oh, no, he lost the football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be stopped here for no gain, and that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Now let's go. 4 down.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And they take a knee. The Colts in victory formation now as they take the knee.